With Chuck Zapek after a 38-7 Hilton Head win over Stahl, the first game that the Seahawks had played in almost a month. They'd had 3 weeks off, their first game in October, and I didn't detect a whole lot of rust. This team didn't look that rusty for a team that hadn't played in a while, and hadn't practiced much either.
No, you're exactly right, Bob. They weren't too rusty, but they were playing Stahl, and I think, as I mentioned before, Stahl coming in also only had 1 week off.
Right.
They didn't miss as much time, but what usually goes when you have any kind of time off in the middle of the season and you lose that playing and practice time, it's not the offense or defense, it's a kicking game. And sure enough, with the opening kickoff, what happens? Right away, it's probably the one facet of your game that you didn't practice that much because you had limited practice time over the last couple of weeks for both sides, for both teams. And sure enough, opening kickoff, 90 yards for a touchdown.
Tyler Hamilton brings it back 90 yards for a touchdown. It's 7-0, and we're just 15 seconds into the game. Hilton had dominated from there. Next time they got the ball, P.J. Franklin banged it in from 8 yards out. They had two other fairly long touchdowns in the second quarter. John Bell catching a pass and taking it 32 yards for a score, and then getting a 66-yard touchdown pitch and catch from Colin Kaiser to Bryce Singleton. Singleton then had an interception return that was called back, though that could have made it even worse. But again, 28-0 at halftime. They cruise from there, 38-7. Hilton Head coming off a tough loss. The last game they had played, they gave up 63 to Berkeley. So the defense, I thought, was really a key to this one. They really just stuffed Stahl for most of the night.
Well, Bob, it's an old saying, you play as good as your competition. And they had some great competition last time they played against Berkeley, and they came out today, and they were playing at that level right away. So, it just shows the better competition you play, the better you'll play.
Of course, this game was about much more than the game. An entire truckload of non-perishable food items was collected from the fans who came to see the game for the Deep Well Project. DeepWellProject.org is their website. You can go and help them out as well and help out your fellow folks here on Hilton Head Island. I think the way the guys comported themselves, not just tonight, but those last couple of weeks, they've only had 2 practices because B.J. Payne's had them out in the community helping out and helping everybody clean it up. Has just been a remarkable performance leading up to the game, and then a good game.
And I agree, and it showed. I mean, this group of guys, they were tired at the end of the night's game, and I think what you just mentioned, what they've been doing, not going with an ordinary week of school, going out into the community and working as hard as they've done, it showed. They're exhausted, but it's a good exhaustion because they won. Indeed.
They are going to continue to play games every week, we hope now, from now on out, and maybe deep into the playoffs. Our next game here on WHHI, Hilton Head Prep and Hilton Head Christian, coming up on Friday. I'm Bob Stevens for Chuck Zapek. That's the Reichenbach Recap.